Hey guys, what's going on? It's prime time here in the bottom right corner of Antigua Shipyard as the Green Protoss once again. And before I introduce my opponent today, just want to quickly go over a couple things here. So this was actually a tournament game that I played today, and like I said, if you didn't watch the last video, then this might not make a whole lot of sense, but like I said, this was a game through the Play Him tournament, and so this particular game was round 2 of the tournament, and the last episode that was I believe I made it to round 3 in that tournament. So I'm winning a couple games here and there, but the way it works with tournaments is the more games you win, the tougher the opponents get. So in this particular game, my opponent in the top left as the Orange Protoss Thunder, it was actually a rank 58 Grandmaster. So I had my work cut out for me this game, and remember, I'm only top 25 Masters. So, and one thing that you're about to see in the chat pop up in a second is that this was only a cross-spawn map, which I didn't realize. So I scout the right base by accident, but I decided to go ahead and cast this because I think I'm just going to cast like maybe 1 or 2 games from each tournament that I play, because if they end up being good, just so you can see these builds play out in the real world. And once again, I know I mentioned this in one of the previous games, but go ahead and tag that watchtower just to see if there's going to be a proxy gateways when you're playing PvP. So as usual, double gas on 16, gateway on 13. Sprinkle in the chronos as need be. And this game's going to get underway pretty quickly here because of the... Oh wow, I actually blocked that cyber for a second. Pretty coincidental. But yeah, we will see what our opponent decides to do, as I'm able to just leave the scout in here for a while, even though he does go for the early zealot. I'm not sure what he ends up doing with that. So once again, this is going to be the 3-gate blink robo play into a late expo. That at least is what I'm going to attempt to do, and I just want to show you guys what happens when your opponent decides to try to do an early pressure attack. We saw in the 4th PvP that blink stalkers don't have the best time ever dealing with the build that I've been using. And as we saw that player do a 4-gate blink stalker. So I'm just checking right now to confirm what I feel like is a 4-gate, and I just want to show you guys something. I'm going to highlight these workers. 16 workers. This is very typical of a 4-gater. Also, I did not see any chronos go down in the Nexus. He got a zealot first, and he's chronoing the warp gate. And 1 gas. All those signs point towards a 4-gate, and here we go. Dropping down the 3 gateways. And when you don't chrono, when you 4-gate, like when you go for a really quick warp gate research, which is pretty typical, usually you're only going to use 1 chrono on workers. But that's actually okay when you decide to 4-gate, because you don't end up wanting to get a ton of workers anyway. So I'm completely expecting a 4-gate to come out, so what I decided to do is throw down an earlier 2nd gateway, and then my 3rd gateway comes down at a usual time. But I pulled 1 worker off gas for each gas assimilator. I do continue to make probes though. You don't really just want to cut probes, because if you go for a 3-gate robo, you do need a pretty good economy. I just scouted up here to see for pylons. I didn't see anything when I looped around, but it looks like he's gonna throw him down right now. His macro is actually slipping pretty bad, I will say. So now typically I just go for 2 sentries. This game I decided to get 3 because I knew I would need the force fields, and letting the zealot in is actually not bad as long as you don't let the zealot and the stalker in. Now what happens right here, I have to throw down this force field, and I'll show you how to get out of the situation, because right now I believe he has vision of the high ground. Barely. He barely has vision. So I'm going to show you guys how to deal with this situation if you find yourself in this predicament. And he's going to be throwing out the pylons just to try to warp in up above. All you want to do is, before this force field goes away, throw down one a little bit lower. That way you can push these units back without letting them split up ahead the force field. So now you can see they're completely on the low ground. And 3 sentries, I do not believe, I think you need 4 sentries to permanently force field this ramp. And I did have force fields, so my force field did slip a little bit, and you can see he has vision. And once you let your opponent get vision on the high ground, that's basically GG if they're going for a 4-gate. Now, just to show you guys my follow-up for this play, I did try to stick to the build a little bit too much here, and I threw down the Twilight. If you're getting 4-gated, you just got to realize your opponent is going to have a pretty bad economy, and therefore you just don't even just stick on 3-gate Robo, or you can just do a 4-gate of your own and then just force field as much as you need to until you are ready to push out. So I hope you guys can sort of learn from my mistake this game. Basically, missing the force fields was very unfortunate. Also, Twilight Council, I recommend not doing that if you're certain that your opponent is going for a 4-gate. With all that said, Robo is pretty good to have. Just get ready to chrono out the Immortals, and I did lose this game, as you can see. Anyway, so thanks for watching. Just a little quick game there to see some changes you're going to have to make if you see a 4-gate coming. So, anyway, we're going to move on to PvP soon. I'm probably going to continue to post a game or two from these tournaments, just so you can see how these builds fare against higher level players. So, anyway, thanks for watching. Primetime signing out, and good luck on ladder.